All right. Oh, here we go. Will Levis. Last one. Will Levis or Lamar Jackson?
Out of spite, Brian's gonna say Will Levis, but I'll take Lamar Jackson over Will
I'll
Levis.
take Lamar Jackson too.
No.
I have to. I mean,
Welcome to the most unprofessional sports program in the world, The Bobby Drew Show, your trusted source for everything sports, with your sports experts, David, Brian, and Bobby Drew. Let's go.
Welcome to the Bobby Drew Show. I'm your host, Bobby Drew. We got Brian over here. We got Dave over there. They are present. We are in studio, our virtual studio, that is. And we had a good show last time. Got to talk about some teams, but a very important thing happened between now and then. It is now July 5th. Yesterday was July 4th. That's what that means. Big match show.
America.
Yes. America. Everybody have 10 fingers? Dave's question. Okay, there we go.
I got Happy 4th of July, everybody.
If anybody's gonna have injured fingers, it would be David.
Yep.
That's true.
How many fingers have you broken, Dave?
In my lifetime,
Yeah.
let's see. I broke this one time, and I've jammed all of these playing either football or basketball. And then the most recent ones were these two right here, which were pointing different directions. It hurt, dude. It hurt bad. And I've had kids. So, and
What?
You had kids? Wow.
Well, I did. My wife had them, but they didn't hurt me at all.
Boy.
That's funny. Well, welcome into the show, everybody. This is the Bobby Drew Show. And as the intro said, we are your trusted sports news source for everything sports. We are experts. We're unprofessional, but we are experts. We know what we're talking about. And we especially know what we're talking about when it comes to fantasy football. I think we can all agree that we play real sports. We play fantasy football. That's what we do. And it's probably the most exciting thing for us. I think we all enjoy football more because of fantasy football. It's just more fun when you're involved in it, or at least you think you are. And fantasy football is not for the faint of heart. If you think that because you know football, you're going to win every single matchup, no, you're not. It's just not going to happen. Brian, did you lose to Mikey? Was it Mikey that you lost to last year?
Yeah.
So,
that one game, I think I was talking so much, and I think he beat me like 170 to like 62 or something.
Yeah.
Like nobody did anything, and all his guys went off. Yeah.
Oh.
So case in point, our friend Mikey knows nothing about football, and he was in our fantasy football league. And Brian probably knows more than all of us, as when it comes to stats and all that stuff. And it just he lost, and it was perfect because there was so much trash talk, but it happens.
Yep,
it happens. Dave, you got a few years under your belt, so you're well rounded now.
Yeah, I am exactly average at fantasy football. Unlike, again, Brian knows a lot, and you do too, Bobby Drew. Just great point about Mikey is that he had an amazing draft, and everybody said it. He is going to win until the bye weeks kick in. Mm-hmm. And that's when he's going to start losing.
And he did.
And that's exactly what happened.
He lost
the whole season.
4 games.
Oh, yep. So frustrating. Yep. Oh, but then Brian, I felt so bad for you in that week because all the trash talk all week long, and then
that week for me actually started with Mark Andrews getting hurt on that Thursday night game. and
Yeah.
I lost Mark Andrews, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to win now. But then like nobody, Jared Goff had like 6 points. My running backs combined had like 7 points. Yeah, it was. I was like, I think he beat me with Josh Allen and one of his receivers. Like he could have beat me with 2 people. Like it was that bad.
Yeah, to be fair, anybody would have beat you that week.
You're right.
Not just Mikey.
I
We
think
all
it
would
was
have beat
the low
you.
score of the whole league. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's always fun. I enjoy fantasy football. Anybody can play. I mean, Mikey drafted Josh Allen. He was his first round pick. So, wild things happen. It can happen. The last episode, we covered some players that we were interested in, some offenses that we're excited about, and what it turned into. We're really just going to go through every team, go through their offense, and we're each going to pick one player. But we want to highlight some players on each offense. So the last episode we covered the Jets, we covered the Texans, the Bears, the 49ers, and then also the Green Bay Packers. So today we're going to cover another 5 teams. We got the Titans, we got the Chiefs, we got the Lions, the Ravens, and the Bengals. All right. And it's been a busy offseason, so there's been a lot of movement. I think, for quite a few of these teams, there's been some movement, additions, and subtractions. Sometimes subtraction is an addition for some teams.
Yeah.
It just happens that way. But we'll start with the Tennessee Titans, which they've had a very active offseason. Tennessee Titans, they got Tony Pollard. Brian, you probably know who the other running back is. I can't think of who it is right off the top of my head.
Tajay Spears.
Tajay Spears, yeah.
Which last year when Henry was out, he did okay. He was okay, not bad. So it's probably going to be a dual threat backfield with Pollard and Spears back there. It'll be interesting to see who gets the most snaps.
Right.
But on the Tennessee Titans, we got Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. They have Tyler Boyd there, which is very interesting. They have Burks, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Hopkins in their wide receiver. And, of course, Will Levis is going to be their quarterback. Dave, do you have the roster pulled up?
Yeah.
Who's their tight ends?
Tight ends, we got Okonkwo, Josh Weil.
Who?
You want all of them?
No.
Okonkwo? Am I even saying that right?
Okonkwo, but
I'm not even going to attempt the first name.
Isn't it Chig?
Chigozium.
Yeah, we just call him Chig.
Chigozium.
We're on a name basis. His name's Chig.
Chig.
Chig Okonkwo. All right, so the Titans, they're kind of pulling some pieces together. They weren't half bad last season. They weren't a team that you thought was going to make a run, but they weren't half bad. They did okay. And I think Will Levis, he's got that year under his belt now. He's coming in. I think he's going to have more confidence. That guy eats bananas with the peel. He doesn't even peel the bananas. He eats the bananas just straight up like that.
Yeah, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee and stuff. This guy he reminds me, this has got to be one of those kids that when he fell down and got hurt, he literally did rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, man. Who would you guys, looking at that offense, for me personally, I don't want nothing to do with that backfield. I don't trust either one of them. I don't know who's going to get what. Maybe I won't draft one. Maybe later on I'll pick one up. I'm more interested in the wide receivers for me personally. My ears perk up when I hear Calvin Ridley. That's just me. I would take Calvin Ridley out of those wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, he's a little bit older, got more experience. If I had to pick, it'd be either between Ridley and Tyler Boyd. That's the two that I would pick from. Dave?
Brian, you were shaking your head no. So what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm taking DeAndre Hopkins all day because now he's not going to be double teamed. Last year it was DeAndre Hopkins and nobody. Like even, they just – and they I don't even know who the other receivers were, but he's not going to get double teamed now, and he's a physical receiver, man. And I think he's going to have a pretty good year. And no, he's not going to be top 3 like Joe Mixon. I'm not making that statement, but I think he's going to have a good year because you can't double team him because Calvin Ridley is him, and Tyler Boyd is a great number 3. I mean that room is legitimate, and they got some championship DNA over there. don't forget they got some good players on defense to help out too. You know, they got that L'Jarius Sneed. I know he's pretty good on defense.
Yes, he is. Dave, any names stick out to you?
I'm looking all the way down at the bottom of the list. There's a guy there named Bryce Oliver. Just kidding. Hey, I just wanted to mention your name, Bryce, because nobody else is talking about you or drafting you. I'm not picking either of these guys definitely not in the first round. I guess maybe in later rounds if Hopkins is still on the board. I like your thought, Brian, about, getting double covered.
I don't mean to interrupt. Let me ask you guys a question, because everybody was so high on Justin Jefferson the last couple of years. His quarterback is Sam Darnold, right? So who knows what that's going to do. But then you get someone like DeAndre Hopkins now, who's going to have another receiver that's going to take pressure off of him. So he's going to get more targets. Is Justin Jefferson higher than DeAndre Hopkins now? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you got to think about too. Like, these receivers, who's throwing? Jamar Chase was great last year until Joe Burrow got hurt. And then when Burrow got hurt, it was like, where did he go?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, Jefferson, if someone asked me right now, Jefferson or anybody, I would take anybody. I wouldn't touch Justin Jefferson.
Wow.
To go off that, Brian. Okay, so would you trust Will Levis more than Sam Darnold?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, he went to Kentucky, and that's where I live now, so I got.
Oh, I see. I got
to be a homer like Dave.
You're from Kentucky, so you know Will Levis.
No, I'm not from Kentucky. I'm from Connecticut.
Oh, you live in Kentucky.
Florida, and now I live in Kentucky.
So do you know Will Levis?
Yeah, we used to hang out.
Because you live there.
Yeah, we ate bananas together.
Oh, okay.
Bananas and mayonnaise.
Gross.
Some interesting stats here. So DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, they're both on the same offense now. DeAndre Hopkins had 136 targets last season, and Calvin Ridley had the same exact number of targets, 136.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Hopkins was the focal point in that wide receiver core last season. Calvin Ridley was kind of sharing, so it'll be interesting to see how that's going to be split this season. Touchdowns almost identical. Calvin Ridley had 8. DeAndre Hopkins had 7. Calvin Ridley had 1,016 yards, and DeAndre Hopkins had 1,057. And literally, Calvin Ridley had 76 catches, and DeAndre Hopkins had 75. So they're almost the exact same.
Right.
Pretty equal on paper, but to Brian's point, who was were they?
Ridley had more weapons around him. He was on Jacksonville last year. He had Travis Etienne on that team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So he wasn't getting all the double coverage and everything like Hopkins is, and they still match numbers, but Calvin Ridley had to share the ball with a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to watch, but
yeah.
So Dave, who's your pick?
Hopkins.
You know Hopkins?
Right. Yeah, I'm not going with Bryce Oliver. Forget that guy.
Yeah. Okay, so I think do we all agree we don't want to touch the Tennessee backfield?
No.
Dave, never mind.
I mean,
Dave, no.
Listen.
You don't want to. Now
hey,
Pollard,
let me ask you a question.
But Pollard did come from the Cowboys.
Well, yeah, no, listen. If we get into 6th round, 7th round, you've got the late pick, and Pollard is still on the board. Are you going to pick him up for your bench or what? I mean, he's.
Yep.
I'm not getting my RB1 or 2 off of this team.
No, it's definitely maybe a bye week stash, something like that. I'm not looking for a starter there. Will Levis is an interesting piece in that offense as well. He's a running quarterback. He's very physical. The dude's massive. First of all, he's a unit. I'm going to pull up some of his stats to see what his rushing stats were. But knowing that he has, a rushing tendency more than what you could say C.J. Stroud has, are you higher on C.J. Stroud or Will Levis?
Oh, C.J. Stroud for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't even find his stats. That's how bad Will Levis was last season.
Who? Okay. You talking about Levis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 2023 passing, 149 completions. His completion percentage is 58%.
Ew.
Threw for 1,808 yards. Averaged almost 201 yards per game. I
Yeah,
mean,
but how many games did he play? I know he didn't play the whole season.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. Let me.
Played nine games.
Okay. All right.
That's it. Okay. I mean, his QB rating was 84. I mean,
I will need to retract my rushing QB statement. I felt like he was had more rushing tendencies, but he only had 25 attempts, 57 yards, and 1 touchdown, 4 fumbles.
Ouch.
four.
So,
Four
I'll take
fumbles.
this Stroud
Wow.
over Will Levis any day.
Yeah,
I can't even believe you asked that question.
I know.
What we are your trusted
Okay.
fantasy football
Just
source.
like, yeah.
All right. Goodbye, Tennessee.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
they're not even gonna make playoffs anyways.
Nope. Nope.
Kansas City Chiefs. How about them?
How about the Kansas City Chiefs? Hey, who's the quarterback?
Hey, well, I don't know, but he was at Wimbledon today. Patrick Mahomes was watching Alcaraz play today. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Awesome.
Don't
Guys,
try to steer us away from
it's
fantasy
tennis.
football.
Come on. Mahomes and Brittany are watching the tennis match in Wimbledon, round 3.
Hey,
Come on.
Good for them.
Now, this
Good.
is why, guys, that's why it's right there. Brian, the sports guy.
Listen, hey, who picked Patrick Mahomes in the first round last year?
Nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on our somebody.
Somebody picked. Was it Philip?
No, I thought it was the second round.
Oh, it might
The
have
only
been.
two that went were Jalen Hurts. Somebody picked Jalen Hurts. And
That's
then
me.
somebody picked Josh Allen.
Hey, but you know what? Listen.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts was a great pick,
Until
but until there were no more wide receivers left.
right, yeah. I thought
so
Micah
stupid.
picked up Mahomes in like the second or third round.
Mahomes, I don't think did great last year fantasy wise.
No, he was QB.
I mean,
Yeah.
he won the Super Bowl and stuff, but
Well, no, that's because Greenlaw got tripped by the grass monster, or they don't win.
oh yeah, that's true. That stupid Achilles thing. All right,
So, Patrick
So-
Mahomes, he ended up as QB8 on the season last year.
all right. So Brian, I know you are a huge fan of
Don't say
Isaiah
it.
Pacheco, and so talk about their backfield, Brian. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire or Isaiah Pacheco. You've got to pick one.
Okay.
It's late in the third round, and you've got to pick a running back.
All right. Well, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire, I probably
Hilaire.
I probably wouldn't pick him up, but Isaiah Pacheco, I'll pick him up for the first week and drop him for the second week, and then I pick him up for the third week and drop him for the fourth week because the guy can't have 2 solid weeks in a row. I don't know. There's just something about him. But again, if I would take the 2, I think Pacheco has a lot more dog in him than Hilaire. I just don't like him.
Wow. Hilaire has been a very big disappointment. He got drafted, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, he had that great year coming out of LSU.
Yeah. I don't know what happened to Dave there. We'll wait till he comes back. But Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's been a little bit of a disappointment here since he's been in the league. Hasn't done too much.
Right.
Isaiah Pacheco had a decent season last year.
He did.
He didn't do bad. He's not an RB1 by any means. Maybe an RB2 or a flex.
He's struggling to get 70 yards a game, though. That's if he doesn't get a catching touchdown, he doesn't normally. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't know. They're runners, and I still think they're going to have the same problem. I just don't think that I would trust either one. But if I had to pick one, I'm taking Pacheco.
Yeah, I would take Pacheco over Hilaire any day.
Yep.
I'm looking at the Kansas City Chiefs running back room. So they combined, they averaged 14.9 points per game. So 14.9 fantasy points per game.
Not too bad.
That was mainly Pacheco. I mean, Hilaire he had a game here or there that he got a couple of touches, but he didn't do too.
Yeah.
So you can say Pacheco probably averaged about 10 points a game there. Oh, here we go. Dave's ringing the doorbell. There we go.
What?
Welcome, Dave.
What happened? I don't. I just.
You were there
I
and then
kicked
you were
out.
gone.
Yeah, I guess-
Gone.
There we go, guys. There we go. I don't know. Your screen went black and you were gone. But me personally, oh, Dave, what's happening?
Dude.
That's a cool thing.
Listen, man.
That's so funny. You got to turn your. There you go. There we go. This is awesome.
What is this?
Looking at
Said we weren't professionals.
Yeah, we did warn everybody. We are not professionals.
So embarrassing.
The Kansas City Chiefs, though, they added Hollywood Brown to their offense. So he brings in some experience. He just like the rest of the roster, he does have a history of drops. But I would venture to say, you guys can disagree. Let me know if you disagree. I would venture to say that Hollywood Brown is probably a lot more talented than most of the wide receivers on the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got some raw talent. Rashee Rice, we don't know what's going to happen with that guy. He's got some legal trouble going on. He might be suspended. So we're not even going to add Rashee Rice in there. Of course, we got Travis Kelce there. They drafted another fast guy, Xavier Worthy, which this guy has wheels, but he does not have hands. Like, I don't know if I'm the Kansas, like, we have one of the greatest possible quarterbacks of all time on our roster right now. You think they would go out and say, all right, who has the best hands? No.
Yep.
Who's the fastest guy that we can possibly draft?
Right. Yep.
Well, he'll fit right in with the Kansas City Chiefs. And also, there's news out. He's tweaked his hammy. And so he's already they're in OTAs, and he's already got a hamstring issue. Now, it's not necessarily putting him out, but he's tweaked it.
Yeah, but if you tweak a hamstring this early and it's warm out, man,
Bro.
and in Kansas City when it gets cold, I mean, one little dude's tapping out. He's tapping out after week 9.
I had Aaron Jones on my team last year. He missed like the whole year because of that hamstring. He hardly played.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing with Aaron Jones and Christian Watson last season. It's just hamstrings. Once you injure them, they're playing every week. They're practicing all week. It's very hard for them to recover for that. So that's a red flag for me. Right. I wasn't going after Xavier Worthy anyways, but I'm definitely not going to go after him now. So looking at that offense, guys, I mean, there's only a couple pieces really that I'm looking at if I was to pick anybody. But I'll let you guys go first. I want to see what you guys think, and then I'll let you know how I pick off that.
Well, Brian. What do you guys? I mean, Travis Kelce, he didn't have a good year last year, and I think he's gonna not have a good year again this year. I just think he's getting too much Hollywood now with this whole Taylor Swift thing. I just think he's gonna try to do more. I would take Sam Laporta before him. I would take Mark Andrews before him. I would take Bryce Colvin before him, or whatever Dave said. I'm scared of Travis Kelce. I also think this is the year. I hope I'm wrong, because you never want to see superstars get hurt. I think Kelce's going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. He's doing a lot more in the offseason than he normally does away from football. And I know this is a fantasy football show, but if you watch baseball, the two top free agent pitchers, Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell, all missed training camp and preseason, and both of them are on the IL probably for the rest of the year because they can't pitch anymore. So, I mean, you gotta be in the gym. I mean, he can't just roll up in the end of July and be like, I'm ready to go. Let's go to preseason. Even though you're Travis Kelce, you still got to have your body in shape.
Well, he's getting to be an old man now too. I mean, at like 34 years old or something. True. There's a lot of younger guys on the table. I mean, advantage is he's a veteran that
him and Mahomes,
they can win, that knows how to win. Yeah. But you got guys like even Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, Trey McBride. I mean, there's
David Njoku. I mean, there's so many tight ends out there. Man.
There's a lot of tight ends if he drops, pretty low, or if it's in later rounds and he's still there. I don't think Kelsey would be. I don't think I would go for Kelsey as my tight end.
I would, and I'll be honest. If Kelsey was, I wouldn't take him before my 5th pick. Like he wouldn't be my top 4. Like I wouldn't even have him on my draft board. Like I just wouldn't. I'm scared of him. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't think I'd keep him that high at all.
Listen, do the guys in our personal league, do they watch this? Because we might not want them to.
Oh no, they can watch it all they want. They still won't know what we're talking about.
Travis Kelce gone in the first round. Watch.
Yeah.
You watch.
Listen to these Travis Kelce stats.
My daughter's in the background. She says, "Are you talking about Taylor Swift's boyfriend?"
Listen to this. Travis Kelce averaged 8.1 targets per game last season, 6.2 catches, 65.6 yards, and the one thing that he's known for, he didn't get a lot of last season, and that was touchdowns.
Right, so that's like 13 points a game.
He got 5 touchdowns. Yeah, he averaged 14.6 points per game.
Yeah, with the touchdowns.
Behind Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
And Sam Laporta.
Yeah. So
Travis Kelce, in my opinion, he's a safety net. Like you just said, Dave, if he's in the late rounds, of course I'm going to take him. I mean, we play in a PPR league, so we get points for every catch. Yep. So if he's averaging, 8 targets a game, I'll take that from a tight end all day long. But if I'm going to pick somebody off this offense, I want Patrick Mahomes. That's just me. I don't want Hollywood Brown. He may be a mid-season bloomer or something, but I'm not going to go after him in the draft. Kelsey, if he's there later, I'll take him. But if I'm going to target anybody from this offense, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Dave, what do you say?
If I'm going to target anybody on the Kansas City Chiefs offense, it is going to be Harrison Butker. And no, I'm not. I don't think Patrick Mahomes didn't do great fantasy wise last year, did he?
No,
I don't really think he did. I don't know. Isaiah Pacheco might be the only one that I'm interested in if I need a second running back. I mean, honestly.
I was just watching Brian. He's like.
For some reason, he does not like Isaiah Pacheco. Why?
Why don't you like Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, because of his stupid hair, man.
Okay, I don't like Isaiah Pacheco because of the way he's bow-legged. I don't know.
He's bow-legged.
Dave, Patrick Mahomes, he ended as QB8. He averaged 20.9 fantasy football points per game last season.
That's not bad.
No, that's not good either.
I mean,
if you're going to average 20 points from your QB position, you need to have some really stacked wide receivers and running backs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dave, are you sticking with the Harrison Butker pick?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, moving on.
No, I told you I'm picking Pacheco.
We're definitely moving on.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about the Detroit Lions.
Yes, please.
Yes, finally.
Yes.
I think Brian might be a Lions fan deep in his heart.
Yeah, you could definitely see it. It's written all over me.
You can.
New England Lions. I don't know.
Jared Goff was your quarterback last year,
yes,
was he not? Yeah.
Yes,
How'd he do for you?
He did really good.
Yeah.
Jared Goff had a good season.
Yep.
QB7 averaged 20.7 points per game, which is 0.2 points less than Patrick Mahomes, which you just said that is not good.
Nope, it's not good at all.
But he has a good offense built around him. So you got Jared Goff, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then you got Jameson Williams, and then they have Donovan Peoples-Jones. Donovan Peoples-Jones, interesting. He's just a veteran guy. He's going to be the third most likely on that team. He's a safety net. He's not fantasy relevant unless there's injuries. man, there's a lot of players that you could pick from this team. But if we only have to pick one, we only get to pick one. So, Brian, I know you love Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You like Jared Goff, but I think last year you were really high on Jahmyr Gibbs. Was it Gibbs that you were high on?
Yeah.
So we'll let you go first, Brian. Let us know who you want and why.
Okay. I was high on Jahmyr Gibbs last year, and I wasn't able to draft him, so I took David Montgomery. But this year, I think of everybody. If he's out there, Amon-Ra St. Brown's coming to my team. That guy he is a dog. He can go in the slot. He can go deep. He's physical for a little guy. He's Amon-Ra St. Brown is a guy that I would want out of that offense. Although you can't go wrong with Sam Laporta. You can't go wrong with the running backs or Jared Goff. But I'm taking Amon-Ra.
I like it. Amon-Ra was solid last season. He was really good. I think he was injured a couple of weeks here and there, but overall he was solid.
Yep.
Dave, who are you taking from the Detroit Lions?
I do want to say this. There is CBS News or CBS Sports is saying Jahmyr Gibbs has been sidelined with a minor injury, but they're not saying what it is. So I don't even know what's going on there. I hope it's not a hammy or turf toe.
Oh, no, not turf toe. Oh, no.
I think I like guys on this team. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think he was very fantasy-wise last year. I'm thinking of our own league. He was pretty relevant in our league. What do you have him pulled up? What was his averages last year?
Yes, so Amon-Ra, he ended as wide receiver 3 on the season with 16 games. So he didn't play the last game. He had 119 catches, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns.
Wow.
1,500 yards, dude.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's legit. That's almost a game.
20 points per game is what he averaged.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He was averaging 7.4 catches a game, 94.7 yards per game, and almost 1 touchdown per game.
I mean, that's a solid pick at wide receiver for sure.
Yep.
And again, that was last year, but he's still, Jared Goff's still throwing to him, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I like Jared Goff. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown for sure.
There's a lot of weapons for Detroit Lions. They averaged 82 as a team, collectively 82.3 fantasy football points as an offense last season. That ranks number 3 behind the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. So the running back room and the wide receiver room led the team. The running backs averaged 26.2 collectively between Gibbs and Montgomery, and the wide receivers was 25.2 for all of them. And then pretty much Sam Laporta has that tight end position on lock all by himself. There's no competition there. So if I'm taking anybody from the Detroit Lions, there's so many players that I like, but I'm going to take Sam Laporta. I like him as a tight end. And Joe in our league last season drafted him. I remember I was at lunch with him one day or something like that. He says, I'm drafting Sam Laporta. And I looked at him and I said, why? I said, who is that guy? And he goes, I just got a feeling. And he was feeling right because he was a beast last season. All right, so we'll move on from the Detroit Lions. Listen, Detroit Lions, though, we only get to pick one player, but you could have multiple players from that team and be okay for a week or two. Yeah. We'll move on. We got the Baltimore Ravens. They've had some movement on their offense. The biggest addition would be Derrick Henry. So you got Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar, and Zay Flowers. And, of course, you have Mark Andrews. This is a tough offense for me. I don't know. This is an interesting one. I think Zay Flowers, I think it's very possible Zay Flowers isn't going – you look at – I had Zay Flowers on my team last season. He didn't do anything all season long. The games I put him in, he got me 0. The games I didn't put him, he had like a 90-yard touchdown run or something, like a screen, and he just takes it to the house. So, first of all, can't stand that guy, all right? Second of all, with all of his catches being mostly close to the line of scrimmage, and then it's him just making it happen with his feet, I'm not too high on him. I probably won't draft him again this season. Maybe a late round pick. But who are you guys looking at from the Baltimore Ravens? Out of those names that we just mentioned, who we'll say this: who are you going to stay away from, and who do you want?
Ooh, can I go first?
I know where you're going.
I know, because look, hey, Mark Andrews. If this was the difference, Bobby Drew, Mark Andrews is the reason you are the fantasy football champion last year, because he went down. But Brian, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yeah, it destroyed my whole season.
Yeah, it did. But look, I like Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. I'm definitely interested in Derrick Henry with as good as he did last year on a mediocre offense to bring that now to the Baltimore Ravens. And I think that's going to be Derrick Henry is going to be exciting to watch this year. If he can stay healthy, I definitely would pick him up as my running back.
Yep.
And Mark Andrews as my tight end.
Okay, so you want Derrick Henry?
Yes. And I picked 12 and 13, so I got them both. Brian, I turned the corner with them, so now they're off the board.
Awesome. Well, I'm taking Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker, yes.
What?
That's their kicker, Dave. How do you not know that? No, I'm not taking. I do take Justin Tucker first. I'm always the first one to take a kicker, and he's my guy. But I would take Derrick Henry also. I just think he's going to have just a stupid great year. Think about last year. Who was it? Gus Edwards? Like that one game, he had like 4 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like he was the ball on the goal line and had like 20-something points with like 4 yards. And
exactly.
So you got that with Derrick Henry. I mean, he can and Derrick Henry can actually do the jump pass too. Like he can actually throw one in, So Derrick Henry for me is the way to go. I can't stand Lamar Jackson, so I would never take him. So for me, like Dave, I'm taking Derrick Henry.
Yeah, he's a good pick. Like you said, Dave, mediocre offense last season on the Titans, and he played all 17 games. He got 1,100 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns in the season. He averaged 14 fantasy football points per game. That's bad. That's not bad. If I need an RB2, I'll play him as an RB2. You get 14 points out of my RB2. I'll take that all on. But the problem is where are we going to see Derrick Henry drafted? That's going to be the issue. Is he going to be drafted really high or really low? I don't know.
I think it's going to be a mix. I think some people are going to be so high on him. Like if you look at drafts all across the country, some people are probably going to have him like in the first round. Some are going to have him in the 4th round. I think he's a mid somewhere just because there is still that unknown. I'm just leery about unknowns like new teams and stuff because, again, Lamar, is he going to take runs away from Derrick Henry? You know what I'm saying? So it's just.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. And I know Lamar, real world, real life, he had a great season last year. What did he do fantasy-wise?
No, he didn't. He had a horrible year.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all.
He was still the MVP, but the guy threw 24 touchdowns. Come on, 24 touchdowns. Give me a break. Like, that's not MVP worthy at all.
No. And for the Baltimore Ravens offense, I'm looking at the breakdown of their offensive plays. They ran the ball last season 50% of the time. Yes. I'm sorry. No. Wait.
They were the number 1 running offense all year until they played the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah, they had 50. Yeah, they ran the ball 50% of their time last season. So
in a passing league.
Yeah, in a passing league. So with that, they only averaged as a team 10.3 points from the running back room, which I can't blame them. I mean, every single running back they've had for the last 2 years always ends up in the hospital, and has to have.
Who's the one that always gets hurt? What's his name again? The little guy. You always liked him.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, him, that guy. I kept telling everybody too, don't draft him. I'm telling you, he's getting hurt. No, he'll be fine. First game out, ACL or tear to his ankle. Yep.
I drafted him.
Yeah.
I was so sad.
So you had room for error.
Yeah, I was so sad though when I saw him go down
Yeah, I
because he
told
had the first week he had a great game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got CMC and J.K. Dobbins.
Yep. Oops.
So I'll agree with you guys. I'm not excited about any of the wide receivers there. Me personally, I'm not excited about Mark Andrews necessarily. I think with Derrick Henry being there, it's going to take away from goal line opportunities for Mark Andrews.
He doesn't normally do goal line stuff anyway. This is what I'm talking about, man. You don't know anything. That's so bad.
Let me pull up.
You know nothing.
I mean, come
Pull up
on.
the stats here.
Go ahead, pull up the stats, just like with the Warriors beat the Celtics in 5 games. Bring up your Google stats, buddy.
You was trying to bring up basketball. Stop it.
I can't help it. I'm the sports guy.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna pull up.
Hey, I changed my shirt though. I went to the Patriots. I'm trying to get into football mode. It's just hard when I keep winning championships. My teams keep winning. It's hard to just put it on the back burner.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
No, you guys don't know. You have no clue.
I understand.
You have no idea.
I'm gonna have to. All right for the next show. I'm gonna have all the Mark Andrews stats for goal line.
Okay.
I know what it's like to win a championship, Brian.
I see.
Thanks for sending Tom Brady to us.
Yeah,
okay?
you're welcome.
I got a feeling. Now I know.
That is true.
What it's like to win. It felt so good for 1 year.
I won a championship last season too.
Really? In your fantasy?
When I'm in the past. That's what you said.
Well, one thing we can all agree on. We disagree on a lot of things. But one thing we can all agree on is that we would all take Derrick Henry from the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll move on to our last team here. This one should be fun. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Hey.
What are we going to do?
I'm excited about this team.
Me too.
What are we going to do about the Cincinnati Bengals? We got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and then the new addition at running back, Zach Moss. Who's their tight end?
Mike Gesicki.
They got Gesicki?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I think so.
Who's the other one that they have?
Drew Sample.
Oh, wow. I guess they don't have.
Drew Sample?
And look at me like I know what I'm talking about. It's on the screen in front of me. Hey, as long as give a little credit here to CBS Sports, as long as they know what they're talking about, I know what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Well, Gesicki being there, I mean, he's not. He's not even worth mentioning. I'm not picking Gesicki.
No.
He could be a surprise, but that's a risk to take. I'm not drafting that guy. To the players to pick from are going to be Zach Moss, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. So, with that in mind, what are you guys thinking here about this offense? It should be an improvement from last season because Joe Burrow should be healthy, and I'm looking at the other running backs in the roster. Nothing really to worry about. Zach Moss is going to be the number 1 there. They have a rookie wide receiver there, Jermaine Burton. That guy is actually pretty good. He's from Alabama. He might possibly pull up that number 2 position from T. Higgins. Maybe it's possible. Who knows? But I'm thinking, for me, I'm excited about Jamar Chase on this offense. That's who I'm taking. One, he had a decent season last year, even with Joe Burrow being out for a lot of it. He did okay without him. But with Joe Burrow coming back fully healthy, I want Jamar Chase from the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm taking Evan McPherson.
Oh, Evan McPherson.
I'm just kidding. I'm not taking a kicker. No, it's like I said. I think this is my sleeper for the whole year, Zach Moss. I think as a runner in this offense, he's going to do well. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, Joe Burrow's injury to his wrist, it's the first time in the history of the NFL a quarterback is coming back from this kind of injury. So we don't really know how he's going to respond. And like with the amount of throws and workload that he could have, they're not sure like how well it's going to go and if weather starts getting colder. No one's ever had this wrist injury before as a quarterback. You come back from Achilles and all that other stuff and elbow cert, all that stuff. But this is the first time ever this injury. So my opinion, Joe Burrow, if he's the quarterback and he's the quarterback that he should be, Joe Burrow's my quarterback. I think he's incredible. And when you have Jamar Chase, this is very hard for me because I would take Jamar Chase over Zach Moss, even though Zach Moss is my sleeper, because Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, they're like Mahomes and Kelsey, but Chase will get a lot more targets and he'll get a lot more yards. So I'm taking Jamar Chase.
This is my thought on this is if you could be lucky enough in the draft to double up and get Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow on your fantasy team. But I think I see what you're saying with Zach Moss. You know, that wide receiver room is going to really open things up for their running game.
Yep.
Because of the threat, especially let's just automatically assume everybody stays healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody plays the whole season. I think it definitely could open it up for Zach Moss, but I don't know. I got Jamar Chase last year for a steal. I'm sorry to the guy that I didn't think he would do it. It was one of those trades, like boom, boom, boom. I was like, he ain't going to do it. And then all of a sudden I get a notification. I got Jamar Chase. Like the very next game, I think I got like 53 points or something.
And just for everybody out there, once that trade went through, me and the guy who took the trade from, we became texting buddies. And I told him to put every trade through me first, and I'll help you out whether it's good or not. I said, no more of this, man. I'm going up against this guy.
Yeah. Hey, but no, for real, Jamar Chase, I would. Would you draft him in the first round? Yes. I would. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I would.
You shake your head all you want. Yes, you would. Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
It depends where I'm drafting.
If CMC's off the board, because I know you love him, Bobby, but I'm telling you, you're taking Jamar Chase as your wide receiver one. Come on. That's crazy not to.
Hey, I have a question then. Do you take who do you take?
Amon-Ra or Jamar Chase?
No, I was going to go CeeDee Lamb or Jamar Chase.
See, I love CD, and again, I'm praying that Burrow stays healthy. Burrow and Chase, you got to remember they played college together. These guys, they know it. I'm taking Jamar Chase. I just am.
That's a tough one because CD is like the lone wolf over there right now.
That's what I'm saying,
guys. He's holding out.
Yeah, it is true. He is holding out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are the things. I mean, he's not going to – I mean, will he hold out? Will he go to training camp? I don't know. Will he be in a But if he doesn't, that's going to matter. It just is. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was playing around last year, and he got beat up by the grass monkey in the fourth play of the season because he didn't want to go. So, I mean –
Oh, man. If Burrow's healthy, I'll take Jamar Chase over CeeDee Lamb.
Yep.
Right.
So, okay, real quick, and then we'll end the show here in just a few seconds. Zach Moss or Derrick Henry?
I'm taking Zach Moss.
Zach Moss.
Zach Moss. Okay.
Yeah. I think for exactly why we just talked about, because I like the wide receiver room better in Cincinnati. That's going to open the running game up better than it will in Baltimore, because Baltimore is more of a running team anyway.
Yep.
So they're going to struggle with that. Zach Moss for me.
Patrick Mahomes or a healthy Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow. Burrow's his daddy anyway.
Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce.
Laporta.
Man, you guys are. Dave, are you just copying everything that Brian
No,
said?
honestly, I'm not.
I'll let him
Two bald-headed guys are linking up here. We're syncing up.
All right, we'll go. We'll do some more bottom of the buckets here. Would you rather have? Let's go Calvin Ridley or Rashad Bateman.
Who does Rashad Bateman play for?
Oh my
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
He plays for the Ravens.
This is what I'm talking about. I'm not the sports guy.
All right, Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
Calvin Ridley, because I know who he is. Apparently.
Okay. I think I'll end it there then, because I was going to say. All right. Oh, here we go. Will Levis. Last one. Will Levis or Lamar Jackson?
Out of spite, Brian's going to say Will Levis, but I'll take Lamar Jackson over Will
I'll
Levis.
take Lamar Jackson too.
Oh, no.
I have to. I mean, I got to win fantasy football. I got to take Lamar over Will Levis. Not in real life, but in fantasy football.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we made our picks. We covered the Tennessee Titans, the Kansas City Chiefs, Detroit Lions, Baltimore Ravens, and the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look around the NFL, it's hard when it comes draft time because everybody's picking those good players too. So it is really hard. It's good to have a knowledge of all the offenses, who's playing where, what position, if they're the 1, 2, or the 3, whatever it could be. Hey, it rhymed. Anyways, anything else you guys like to say before we check out for the evening?
Good night. And listen, if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, just let us know.
Yeah, we have an email. You can email us. Everything will be in the description below. Check us out. You can DM us as well. Follow us on all the social media. We are on TikTok, Instagram, obviously YouTube. We're on Facebook. We got it all. DM us. Let us know in your comments. Right down here below the video, any one of these offenses, pick a player that you like. Maybe you disagree with us. We did have a lot of people disagree with us on our last couple of takes we had. So let us know because, listen, it works for different teams. If you got a stacked wide receiver room, you could take a chance on a running back, so on and so on. We all have different opinions. Obviously, there's 3 of us here. We would all pick different players in the draft at different positions. That's just the way fantasy football works.
Yep.
So let us know how we were wrong in the comments, all right?
Go Red Sox.
And go Red Sox, Brian said. Go Rays. Peace out, everybody.